So are we recording or are we going to clap again?
Oh, we can clap again. I'm never going to clap again.
Should we clap again?
Et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's just have it just for safety, and Noah can always.
Noah, can I get the over-under on how many claps we should be doing?
Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, Noah. I assume he just did like the... I can't do it because I don't want to put my fingers in my mouth because I've been playing with coins. But you know the little pop sound he does?
Uh-huh.
Well, I've been doing the thing where you like roll a coin over your knuckles.
Oh yeah, that always looks cool.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be able to learn how to do that with a pen.
I can kind of do it with a pen, but I can do it pretty good with a coin now.
I feel like I get like 2 fingers in with the pen and then I fling it across the room.
Same. Yep.
You gotta have dexterity and chutzpah. All right, we're gonna clap again.
All right.
Okay. Are we? I feel like it's too late now, right? We've kind of already screwed it over.
You know what? I'm gonna put an M for a little marker, and I'm gonna say extra clap, and then we're in.
I'm not gonna do that, but
okay.
Noah, you know what to do.
I don't know how to do anything.
All right, Jackson, you want to count us down one more time?
3, 2, 1.
That was much better. That was it.
We are officially synced.
Now we're officially here.
Now we're podcasting. Now that's podcasting.
Now this is podcasting.
As we are all very big Star Wars fans, we can talk about Star Wars.
The singular Star War.
Yes.
Yes. We should hold on.
Jar Jar Binks.
Listen, I know that when I'm gone, you guys don't even acknowledge my lack of existence. But Noah is not here because he's
didn't we talk about it last week though?
He's gone to get married. So,
I mean, he already did.
No, I'm pretty sure it's happening right now. Actually,
I don't think that's true.
Actually,
I watched Noah's wedding from work, and I was mad that I couldn't put poggers in the chat. Because there was no chat. I
didn't even know there was a chat to join for that, and I was very sad.
That's the thing. I didn't know there was either. I couldn't find it. Otherwise, I would have been saying pog in the chat. But
yeah, I'm very upset.
Well, as an enemy of the podcast, I was not invited to this wedding. So.
That's right. We have with us today an enemy of the podcast.
Known enemy of the podcast.
Yes. Sam.
Yes.
Who hates
Hi
the podcast.
there, Sam here. You may remember me from all the times that I tried to destroy the podcast.
Oh yeah, you hate the podcast? Name 5 times you tried to destroy it.
Today, yesterday, the day before,
anytime.
that.
It's a constant state of being.
Get on my level,
actively.
Jackson. Seriously.
Honestly, in this moment, I am trying to destroy the podcast.
My end goal is that this episode will finally end the podcast. Like, it's going to be so terrible, no one will ever listen to it.
That's the plan?
You're off to a great start.
I know! It's going so good.
I think the bit where we kind of did a clap like 3 minutes in was good.
That was pretty funny.
I think that was a redeeming quality and a good arc.
That's true. I don't think it can be the worst episode anymore.
A lot of character development. I mean, we've done some pretty bad episodes, right?
We've done. I don't know what is our worst episode. Sam, you are caught up. You've now listened to every episode now.
I have listened to every episode because the key.
That's a lot of episodes.
The key to being a good enemy is know thy enemy. That being said, I don't know, man. You've done a lot of episodes.
I feel like you could watch all of the episodes of the podcast, or you could watch like the entirety of Naruto. It will take the same amount of time at this point.
How many? What episode number is this? Here, hold on. I can pull it up.
It's in the
past
hundreds.
100. And each episode's like an hour. We got a lot of episodes, except for the true crime episode.
We are episode 114.
I think the true crime episode, and I feel bad saying this, I think it was the worst episode, probably.
I can see it.
That's fair. No,
not because the content was bad, just because I don't think that it was executed very well. Sorry, Noah.
That's fair.
You know what? Yeah, Noah.
Yeah, it's Noah's fault, definitely.
Yeah, get him.
I think I like it as a fun thing that we did.
You didn't even really do it though.
I know, but I listened to it and I appreciate it.
Your whole thing was like, I don't want to do it because it's gonna suck.
Well, I did kind of say that, but most of it what I really said was that okay, so I don't listen to true crime ever. I've never listened to a true crime podcast in my entire life. I've never watched a true crime show in my life. I don't.
Honestly,
I'm not
I
interested
have
in them.
a show.
Most people.
I say this as someone who has watched many a true crime show.
See? And so when they were talking about this, I like the longer it went on, the more I realized I didn't understand it on like I didn't get the bit, as it were. And so I asked to be relegated to just doing a voice, and there I was doing a voice.
I did like the part while we were producing it, and you were like in the call as Noah and I were recording, and you were trying to like do the voice basically as we were talking. You were trying to warm up the voice for what the impression you were gonna do was.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty good bit.
That was pretty funny.
I don't know if that ever saw the light of day on like
I don't
the bonus content about that one.
I definitely didn't let it.
I do feel like the bonus, like the behind the scenes of that, were way better than the actual.
Oh,
wait, there's bonus stuff. I have access to bonus things now.
I think there is bonus stuff of that. Yeah,
there should be. I know Noah talked about doing bonus stuff. I don't know if it ever actually saw the light of day.
It's way better than the actual podcast episode.
I really should actually like access that content. I do pay you guys.
I should check
a sum of money every month.
Known Enemy the podcast secretly helping fund the podcast.
Again,
as it
all part of my master plan.
Yeah. So how are you gonna end the podcast? Like, what's the plan? How are you gonna?
Well, I mean, I'm starting by replacing Noah. So step 1 done.
This is actually only an improvement.
Yeah, you actually did improve everything.
Hey, Dan, remember that one time when you said that Noah's family was a bakery and he was white bread?
Oh no!
I don't, but that's very good.
That does sound like something Dan would say.
No, I actually, you know what? I stand by that.
On the podcast.
I stand by that.
You were like, Noah, you're like white bread and your family's the bakery.
Yeah, no, like, I'll be honest. I'm going to stand by that. I think that's still accurate to this day.
Wow.
Ouch.
I think Noah's a solid like pumpernickel.
Do you think he's a pumpernickel?
I'm sorry, am I supposed to think worse of Noah?
Well, I feel like bread. He can't be. Now that he's married, does he still? Is he just like he's definitely got to be improved now that he's married. He's white bread mixed with something else.
Maybe like a nice Kaiser roll.
I could see him being a Kaiser roll.
What do you guys think? What kind of bread do you think Jeff is?
I don't know Jeff, so I can't speculate.
I feel like Jeff is a really good. I could actually see Jeff being like a pumpernickel, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Man, I can't believe that time you said that on the podcast. I'm pretty sure it made.
I think Edge is a sourdough.
You think Edge is a sourdough?
I think Edge is a sourdough.
I could see that. She's just funky enough to be like something extra substance.
Wow.
No, like I mean that in the best way possible. Like I love Edge. She is an occasional guest in our D&D group.
That is now ended. We should talk about that at some point.
As we get time today. Floor.
Let's see. I don't know Mr. Deets well enough to give him a bread type.
Tim, just not shellfish bread.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode of the podcast where
yes, I remember that. I just don't know why he would. I didn't know that was okay. I know he can't have shellfish. I was saying, is shellfish bread a thing?
Crab rangoon, my dude.
Huh? True.
Lobster rolls.
That's okay. I'll accept it. So
no, don't accept it. But
what is?
It's not a thing, but I just said he's definitely not that though. If it was to be a thing.
Here's the bigger question for me. Because
also, this is what I can actually to get crab rangoon, I would be so mad.
What is Linda?
If I showed up at the bakery and they're like, "Yeah, you want some crab rangoon?" I'd be like, "Yeah," but also, why do you have that here? This isn't like, yeah.
I feel like that's the appropriate response, though. Yes, I want crab rangoon, but why the fuck do you have crab rangoon?
I mean, yeah, you're right. And you know what? I think the Deets family bakery. I think they're all pretzel rolls.
You know what? If that's where we're going, I don't hate that. I'm not happy about it, but I don't hate it. Fucking, I think Linda is banana bread.
Hell yeah.
Because everyone likes banana bread.
Unless you're allergic to it.
And I'm sure they're
probably still like it. I mean, I like pineapple. I'm just allergic to it.
Yeah.
Like most people are lactose intolerant. I still love
banana
milk.
Bread.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I must be the weirdo then because I'm super allergic to bananas, and I'm kind of offended that I can't eat them anymore.
Yeah, but you don't like them, though?
All right, fine, fair. I do still like bananas. I didn't
know you were also allergic to bananas.
Yeah.
You had it coming.
I totally forgot about this.
It was all actually a podcast ploy. We've been slowly making allergic to bananas for years.
Slowly filling the podcast with bananas.
I don't know if that's what I was saying.
Okay, hold on. So we're at Noah's giant baby Yoda bong. Jackson's
which is real.
Overly sized spoon. Which is also
it's just
real.
Comically large.
I can't remember what mine is. And Sam, whose room is slowly filling with bananas.
Mr. Bond. Your room is slowly filling with bananas, Mr. Bond. What will you do?
What do you want me? What do you expect me to do? Eat all the bananas? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Well,
hopefully by choking on a banana.
Guess
I love the idea of like a James Bond villain being like, I see you're allergic to wheat. So I have slowly filled this room with wheat. You couldn't just shoot him?
You realize I'm only allergic to wheat if I eat it, right? Like...
I mean, to be fair, you stick anyone you just slowly fill a room with wheat and anybody's inside. Eventually that person's gonna die.
Especially if it's in grain form. Like, you get
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Going.
Mr. Bond, you fall into the grain silo.
Better stay away from
He's just like a slow. It's like a quicksand thing. He's just slowly sinking.
You must watch yourself, Mr. Bond, lest you become consumed by the grain.
No one cared who I was until I put on the husk.
I really like the idea of like a James Bond villain just being like a rural like Appalachian man. Just being like, Mr. Bond looks like you've been finding a grain silo there, boy. You better watch yourself, else you're gonna get consumed by the grain, Mr. Bond.
I like the idea that he puts on this very like so many Bond villains, he puts on that like nice hospitable attitude, but like Southern hospitality is not the same as like evil like conniving British Bond hospitality. And so he's like, when you get out of there, we're gonna have some, I don't know, what the fuck do Southern people eat anymore?
Cornbread.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god, that's why
I live in the South. I can confirm they do still eat cornbread.
James Bond inside a grain silo being slowly crushed by all the corn in this grain silo. And the guy at the bottom just waiting with like a little pan. When you get out of there, Mr. Bond, we're gonna turn you into some cornbread. I mean, have you for cornbread? Wait, fuck.
I really like the idea of like the villain sounding and looking like that, but looking like a normal Bond villain.
I'm here for that.
The
extremely in a full-on like classical suit in like a Lambo, but also just being like, well, there, Mr. Bond, you found yourself an unfortunate situation.
To be fair, I would also accept Noah's like Southern preacher voice as a Bond villain. I'm not going to try and do it because I don't do nearly as good a job as he does. But that like oil baron, like deep South.
I drink your milkshake, Mr. Bond.
I drink it right up. Be very good.
So guys, this has been a podcast episode so far.
Yeah,
it has.
Should we talk about the past?
Oh, we can talk about the past. Yeah. What about the past?
Yeah. So I really enjoy ancient Mongolia.
Okay.
I think that the city of Ulaanbaatar has like a wonderful and rich backstory. You guys thought I was talking about our past. No, I was just talking about general history.
I really was hoping you would go on with that. I was here for whatever this thread was going towards. So, I assume what you mean, Jackson, is that we should talk about the fact that Sam is one of the only people that A, know both of us, and B, have known both of us from a very young age.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is weird and gross.
Nah, I was cool. I wasn't cool.
No, I think that's why she's here.
I don't think I became cool until I was like 27, and I'm not 27 yet.
You know what? Same, buddy. I feel that. It'll be nice to be cool someday.
Yeah, I sucked for a long time in like several different ways.
To be fair,
before I became the Hulkamaniac you see today.
It was middle school and high school in a small rural town. I think pretty much everybody sucked in multiple ways.
Wink.
Well, I had like phases of like different kind of being a bad person.
Listen, we're not here to talk about how you were a bad person. We're here to talk about the weird shit you did.
I did weird shit?
Yes.
I probably did.
You definitely did weird shit.
I
also did weird shit, but Sam and I didn't have to spend however many hours a day in the same room. Only once a week did we spend hours a day in the same room.
Yes.
What did you guys do together?
We went to youth group.
Yeah.
Youth group.
Back when I was a good little church boy.
Yeah.
Did you win?
Says. Or more accurately, a good little youth group boy, because I was very rarely a good little church boy, even then.
Your parents came to church regularly, and I always asked them where you were, and they were always like...
I came to church most of the time, and then I stopped.
To
be fair...
I think you actually went to church more often than I did, but that's because my parents also were terrible at remembering to get up and go to church, so...
I definitely did, because so because of the way church was, and the big, gigantic church that we went to, there were people very much found a spot to sit in and then stayed in that spot forever.
Mm-hmm. This is true in most churches from my experience.
Yeah. So I knew where Sam's family sat. And I would sit up in the balcony with my family. And so I could look down and know if Sam was was in church or not pretty easily. And I would check most of the time. And she was only there like sometimes. And it was always sad.
It was probably like a third of the time. My parents...
You went more in middle school. And once you hit high school, you definitely went a lot less.
Well, see, in high school, my parents suddenly had 2 children under the age of 10. And then they had me. And I was in high school, so obviously I was not under the age of 10.
What?
I know, crazy.
Sounds fake.
Jackson, I know I lied to you for many years that I was actually only like 12 when we graduated from high school, but I am in fact the same age as you are.
Because I remember like all throughout high school you'd be like, remember Jackson, I'm going to be 12 forever. And I believed you.
Which still isn't under 10, to be clear.
Well, yeah.
Wait, it's not?
Shh. Listen, Jackson failed algebra. It's okay.
I was always told, Jackson, I'm going to be 12 forever. And remember, 12 is less than 10. It seemed like a weird thing to say to me every day, but, there we were.
I mean, we had to pass the time somehow. It was high school.
Yeah. I definitely understand that, he said.
High school was pretty cool, I think.
High school wasn't the worst.
It's nice to have someone who went to public school on the podcast. It just sucks that it's the same public school as me, and we had, like, a lot of classes together. Mm-hmm. So we have, like, a very shared experience.
See, and it's unfortunate because I endlessly wish that I could have had that shared experience. Because, boy, high school seems like a wild time.
Public school is sick as hell.
Public school does kind of seem sick as hell from the outside looking in.
Honestly, it kind of... Like, I'm not trying to say that public school is the best form of school because it's my only experience, so I am in no way an expert on this.
It's the jungle. There's no rules.
There literally are no rules. There are rules, but, like, following them is optional.
You know how many pencils I saw ate in my days?
Do you know how...
I saw, like, at least 40 pencils eaten, and I ate at least 4 of them.
Do you know how many times I watched Jackson pull out a pencil in geometry, and instead of using the pencil to write with, pick his cuticles until they bled, and then write his notes in his own blood? Because it was every fucking day.
The fact that I was really hoping this was going to be twice, but
I do remember in like 10th grade writing notes with blood. Because my hands would always like I always had like hangnails because I just pick at my hands all the time.
Well, and you know what
so
it
there
was?
would always be like,
we had that class right after academic sports league. So we would leave academic sports league, go to geometry, and you and Chad would just go fucking buck wild, and Asmo never did anything.
Dude, that class was so good. Because I just remember, my other friend Chad, Sam and I's other mutual friend, we would just kind of like do stupid things in that class. Like, like I would write things in blood sometimes. And we would snort Altoids sometimes. Public school is cool.
To be fair, you snorted Altoids in other places also, though, not just geometry.
Yeah, there was I had a phase where I did that a lot. As people do.
Because it was public school and there were no rules.
Public school is great. There's no rules. It's the law of the land, Lord of the Flies.
No rules, just right.
Precisely. Do you have any fun things you did in high school? I don't know if I do, because apparently starting out towards isn't fun.
Wait, who are you asking, me or Dan? Because Dan didn't go to high school.
Because Dan didn't go to high school, more or less.
Mostly less.
What did I do in high school? I was kind of a goody two shoes. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
shocking.
I was a little bit though.
Like, all right, but Jackson, in our friend group, which all of us were pretty much good kids. Like, let's not pretend.
That's true.
You were.
Yeah, no one was a bad kid.
No one in our friend group was really a bad kid. I think the most like rebellious thing I ever did was one time I snuck out of the house to go to the park with John.
All right, that's it. We got her.
I got big time grounded for it too, because my little sister ratted me out.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Snitch mode.
Or no, it was my brother. Cameron wasn't old enough to talk yet.
You're telling me you got in trouble for John?
I did. Actually, that was what led to us breaking up for the final time. And then he dated all the rest of my friends. So
God, he is an individual. That is a person.
What a guy.
He exists.
He does.
And is. For sure. I still see him fairly regularly.
I actually just saw him the last time I was home for Kenzie's wedding.
Yeah.
He and Marissa were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
No, cut this from the pot. Well, we'll just talk about it after we record.
Yeah.
No, cut this one out because I don't want to.
I have a feeling that you and I know opposite sides of the story.
No, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I was there afterwards because, you know where they went after the wedding?
No.
My house.
Oh, fun. I got super fucking drunk at that wedding on accident, and don't remember what happened after the final dance.
That's pretty pogged, but, accident? Come on. Unfortunate.
Okay,
so I did it on purpose.
I've never been to a real...
Because she's a coward.
A real wedding as an adult, so... Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that bartenders pour drinks a lot stronger than normal at weddings because it's a wedding. So I had 2 drinks under the assumption that I would be comfortably drunk and be having fun.
Could you not tell how strong they were?
I could not tell. They were very...
Sam is big dumb when it comes to booze. This is a fact that I have discovered slowly but surely, and it's...
I have a fun story that's in a similar vein, but I'll let you tell your tale of wedding drunkenness.
Wedding woes.
So I was a bridesmaid in Kenzie's wedding because she and I have been friends for as long as you two and I have been friends. Jackson and Dan, you both know this.
Yes.
So she got married. It was a great time. And to be fair, we also consumed an entire bottle of champagne while we were getting ready for the wedding, as one does. Incredible. So I was already like pretty far up there, hadn't really eaten anything until dinner. In hindsight, it was a bad combination. So we get there and like I waited until after I had eaten to have anything alcoholic to drink. 'Cause I'm like, I need to at least get food in my stomach. So
good call.
So I went and I ordered a screwdriver because they only had basic cocktails, so it wasn't like I could really get fancy.
That's how not getting a zombie or anything. Unfortunately.
So I went and I ordered a screwdriver and I drank that and it didn't taste like, you know how if you use cheap vodka and you pour like half the cup is vodka, you taste it?
Oh, that's what it was. You've never had good vodka.
I've never had good vodka. So I couldn't tell that this screwdriver was half vodka, half orange juice. So I drank it over the course of like the next hour and a half and I'm having a good time and it hadn't hit me yet. So I'm like, all right, this is about where I wanted to be by the end of this drink. So I went and I ordered a vodka cranberry, thinking like, okay, after I finish this drink, I'll be where I want to be. I can coast out the next 2 hours. I'll be able to come back down from it easily enough and I'll be able to do what I'm supposed to do, which was drive Kenzie's car home for her so that they didn't have to worry about it and they could go, do what married couples do. which is go to the hotel and have their wedding
just
night.
hang out. Married couples mostly hang out.
Trek 2 on the GameCube.
Right. I think they were going to play Super Smash Bros. All night.
Pretty sure that's where Noah is right now, actually.
On the GameCube?
It's highly... Yes, he's in the GameCube. They've actually been sucked into it.
They play in Melee?
Little known fact, when you get married, you get ported to another dimension, usually through a game or a TV system.
I don't want to be into GameCube.
That's actually why all married couples go on a honeymoon immediately following the wedding, is they have
they can escape.
Yes, they have to beat the game and get back to real life.
Yeah. It's a Jumanji scenario.
Exactly.
It's just like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
So I was supposed to drive Kenzie's car home while she was in an alternate dimension. Well, what happened was I finished the vodka cranberry and I didn't start to get sober. I just started to feel more and more drunk. And I'm very aware of the fact that, like, I'm a lightweight. It doesn't take much to get me drunk, and it doesn't take much to get me so drunk I can't function.
Oh, you couldn't... Wait, what happened?
Well...
That's an ominous statement.
I started crying.
Oh, no!
Now, I had the wherewithal to walk away from the tent where everyone was dancing, and, like, I walked over to some friends who were standing over by the bar. Like, Kenzie had an outdoor wedding, so, like, there was a barn in the background where, like, the bridal suite was, where we had gotten ready. So, like, I had just enough wits about me to walk away and find someone else. Like, all I remember is thinking, oh my god, I can't cry right now. It's Kenzie's wedding. I can't ruin my best friend's wedding. Get away, get away, get away, get away. Apparently, Jackson, you know Cole, Kenzie's little brother. Apparently, after they got me calmed down enough to, like, figure out why I was crying and figured that out so that I would stop crying, he carried me like a sack of potatoes back to the reception so that I didn't miss Kenzie's final dance of the evening. And then Sam and Andrew drove me home because there was no way I was getting behind the...
Wow, what an exciting night! Do you remember this clearly at all?
I remember parts of it clearly.
Okay.
But, like, there's definitely a good chunk of time between my friend Anna figuring out why I was crying and Cole carrying me back over to the reception that is very hazy. And the next day was not fun.
Oh, I'm sure. That sounds about right. Did we talk about Noah's, like, pseudo bachelor party last week? I think we did, right?
You did, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I've never actually blacked out before, and I don't want to say that I want to or that it's my goal, but, like, I kind of want to.
That is the closest I have been to, like, truly blacking out. Because, like, if I think about it hard enough, I can remember vaguely everything that happened in that period of time. But, like, the exact details are fuzzy. I don't think I ever want to be in that place again.
Isn't that called a brownout?
Yeah.
No, that's when you shit yourself.
I did not shit myself, so I'm doing pretty good.
I think I've told the story of me blacking out the one time I've done that, right?
You've told me that story.
I think you told it on the podcast. It sounds familiar.
I mean, I can tell it again. I know you also had a story you want to tell, though.
I don't remember it. Because I blacked out right now.
Hey, yo! Jackson, who is actively just taking shot upon shot.
As always. I don't remember what I was going to say, though. I got too invested in Sam's story. Yeah, it's just like it's been a time. It's been definitely a time. And weddings are abounding.
They are.
Weddings do be happening.
We did discuss the fact that Jackson knows like 4 people that got married this past weekend.
Yeah. But to be fair, I didn't know that 3 of them were getting married.
You only found out once we sat here and started talking about people who got married.
Well, to be fair, I don't know. I wouldn't have known that one of them was getting married because unless I had seen my cousin Brittany last weekend.
Still, I know at least one or two people from my home community also are getting married.
Apparently, this was the hot weekend to get married, so sorry, guys, you're mainstream.
Yeah, that's not very indie of you.
Mm.
I'm only gonna get married on a solstice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Middle of the week, preferably.
Mm.
No one will see it coming, you know? No one expects the Tuesday wedding.
I feel like Tuesday weddings have to be cheaper, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Because who's gonna choose to get married on a Tuesday?
Me.
Jackson, obviously.
Well, Jackson, yes.
Get dummy head.
It's a talking point, you know?
Ah, yes, we got married on a Tuesday because it was the equinox.
Because for me, it was a
vernal or autumnal. Thank you for asking.
I don't know. I guess I get why a bunch of weddings happen in October, but I don't know, dude. Have it in like the middle of summer.
Ew.
People do that too.
I've now decided that I really just want to do a beach wedding where nobody, like everyone's just fucking wearing like bathing suits,
cargo shorts. Oh
yeah, that works too. I'll take it.
Nice.
Imagine being comfortable enough in your own body to have your picture taken on your wedding day in a bathing suit. Wild.
I want to have a wedding that is entirely cowboy themed.
Okay.
Now that's a concept I can get behind.
And like entirely, like if you show up without like a cowboy getup, you get kicked out.
Actually, I think I've been to that wedding.
Wait, you've been to my wedding?
No, not your wedding.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't remember.
Someone else we graduated with.
Had a cowboy wedding?
Not intentionally.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, we had an interesting graduating class. We had an interesting time in high school.
We did.
And I feel like Sam and I weren't like great friends in high school, but we were friends, but we weren't like homies.
We definitely we had the same friend group. And I did have to kiss you on stage in front of the entire school once.
We did have to kiss on stage in front of I guess the entire school?
We did do that scene for the preview.
Oh yeah, we did have to kiss on stage in front of the whole school. But again, it was so basically Sam and I were married, and it was a cowboy themed wedding.
Yes.
In front of the whole school. Yeah, it was,
That was a cowboy themed show. Shit.
It was a cowboy themed wedding. Wait, was it?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. No, it was the
That was
Sailor
curtains.
Show.
No, that was curtains.
Was it? Was it a cowboy show? I don't remember.
That was a cowboy show because it was a show within a show, and the show within the show was Cowboy Robin Hood.
You're right. Holy cow! Now it's all coming back to me. But I think I only remember like the show without the show, like the show, because my character had nothing to do with the in-show show.
That was the show where you guys were sailors and you dropped me.
That explains so much.
High school theater. Wait,
that was anything. Anything goes when I was a sailor.
Anything goes.
And then curtains, I was not the sailor.
No,
I was like
you were my ex-husband.
I had I was your ex-husband, and I had like 3 scenes, and then we got remarried at the end of the movie. At the end of the show.
I think we
maybe.
I don't think we got remarried on stage, but it was strongly implied that by the end, the
characters were doing something. Oh, we weren't divorced. We were separated.
And I was cheating on you with my then boyfriend. But we don't talk about it anymore.
Wait, is this the case? I actually don't remember that at all. I don't remember anything about the show.
That's okay. Theater wasn't your entire identity in high school.
To have blocked all this out, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, so Sam and I did theater together in high school.
We also were on the academic sports league team because we were...
I was only on there for like a year.
We were both classified as gifted children.
Gifted, biggest mistake they've ever made.
Yeah, gifted means something very different, I think.
Yeah, you guys talked to me before. I'm borderline unintelligible at all times.
When they said gifted, I think it was just a mistranslation of special.
We definitely made that joke about each other a lot.
Good to know that I can continue a trend.
Yeah, we were there was probably like 8 people in like the gifted class when we were in like middle school.
Something like that.
Sam and I were 2 of them. So, yeah, we'd be vibing. We were friends. And then I feel like in high school though we weren't like super close.
No,
because we had like a similar friend group, but not the same friend group.
We definitely like it was one of those things where like we hung out with a lot of the same people, but never at the same time. Because
I also didn't hang out with anyone in high school really, because I was pretty much hanging out with like my at the time girlfriend like every day. So it kind of ate up a big chunk of my social life.
Women do be doing that though.
Vaguely remember that. But again, It was high school. I think it's safe to say that children who are in high school are very self-absorbed. And it's
and they're also not complete people.
No.
You can't vote for a reason.
Like, I look back at the shit I did in high school, and I'm like, God, I'm so glad that none of those actions had far-reaching consequences, because, whoo boy.
If only I can say the same. Yeah, no, I feel like definitely in high school, you're just not a formed person. So it's kind of fun because you get like all these like half people just like interacting with each other and like creating these like sometimes incredibly intense bonds that are utterly meaningless in the grand scheme of things, but they convince themselves that they're everything. You know? And it's just like, it's crazy. It's wild. Public school, like, it's the law of the jungle. There is no rules.
I distinctly remember. Were you in the AP Euro class where we made bacon for breakfast every morning?
No, I was in the AP Euro class with like the grade below us.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if you were in the same class as I was, but we brought in an electric griddle and we made breakfast for ourselves every single morning.
That's amazing. That feels like the kind of thing that definitely should not have flown.
Law of the jungle.
You're right.
High school was a interesting time, and I was there. I think it can be said I was present sometimes.
You definitely showed up into the building at multiple times through the day,
and that's why I think it's so much fun to talk to people who also went to like a public school, because there's so much. I don't want to say damage, but
it's damage.
Shared trauma.
It's big damage.
Yeah, there's just like there's so much that like, because people were homeschooled. Like, yeah, I hung out with other homeschooled people, went to like homeschooled prom and had like these classes. I'm like, I don't remember what class I had ever, but I remember that one time a kid threw a chair at the teacher.
Do you remember the time that Gage and that other kid who got sent to juvie got in a fight in the middle of the hallway, and Asmo just stared at them for 10 minutes before doing anything about it?
No, but that sounds kind of funny.
That sounds amazing.
There weren't that many like fights at our high school, and the ones that there weren't that good. You know, we didn't have that many bangers.
Nah. Although there was that one between, what was her name? Christina.
Wow.
And
I think I know what you're talking. In middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have someone get choke slammed. That was a banger. That was a slapper. But like most of the fights in our high school were just kind of like
it was
people talking like they were gonna fight and then not fighting, or like hitting each other like once and not fighting. It wasn't very exciting.
No.
But yeah, one time a girl got choke slammed in the hallway, and that was kind of cool.
I mean,
that actually sounds pretty dope.
I don't know that I'd say it was cool, but
it definitely desensitizes you to things like that, though.
There was that guy though that was growing weed in his gym locker.
Yeah, free my man, get him out of there. He did nothing wrong.
So good.
Yeah, there was a kid who grew weed in his gym locker, and then a whole bunch of kids started like a little like
free T-Sean
pseudo-ironic Twitter campaign to free him.
That's really good.
And then when he came back to school, everyone cheered, and then like formed like a pep rally kind of line, and everyone cheered, and then the administrators of the school were like, stop it, and then they like made us not cheer for him.
That sounds rude.
But yeah, this kid grew weed in his gym locker, and they got suspended for like 3 days, and then when he was coming back into school, the whole school cheered for him. Public really school it was a trip, you know. It was wild, and I don't really regret it at all. I feel like I would definitely send my kids to public school.
Oh, for sure. It builds character.
It does build character
in the best possible way.
You become a character. I mean, there are definitely people who like okay, not from experience, but from talking to people. That also sounds a lot like your specific grade was an absolute blast. Because I definitely know people who are like, yeah, no, fucking high school and public school was literally the worst thing that happened to me.
We had a small school, relatively. We had like
that's true
60 people in our graduating class.
It was actually closer to 100.
Oh, was it really?
We actually had one of the larger graduating classes.
But I feel like I just like knew everybody.
I had the largest graduating class in the history of like my homeschool program group.
Ooh,
and there were 16 of us.
I was going to say, like, how many people can there really be in your graduating class, bud?
The year after, there were 3.
It's really hard for me to not immediately just continually dunk on homeschool because of homeschool prom.
No, it's fair, dude. You listen.
Like
listen.
I just like every time I think about it, I just want to dunk on homeschool prom.
Listen, dude. Sometimes you got to be dunking.
And that's
okay.
America
homeschool prom is objectively not a good time. 0 to 10 would not do again.
Pretty hard. I remember our prom being pretty cool.
Yeah, our prom actually was pretty sick. Both the prom that our grade planned and the prom for our senior year, I would say we're both.
I don't remember our junior prom that well.
I remember it because I helped plan it.
Ah, I did not.
Yeah,
I remember our senior prom.
Senior prom was good.
It was good. I also remember homecoming, but only because I was on homecoming court and I was like won the Prince thing, so like runner up. But I didn't go to the dance because I didn't think I had to. And because my girlfriend at the time was like, let's just like not go to the dance. Let's just like stay here and like watch a movie or whatever. We actually watched Alien, and we were watching Alien, and then like I get a call and they're like, hey, you have to be at the dance. I was like, why? And they're like, well, because like we have like a crown and all that stuff. I was like, I don't want to go. They're like, just come for pictures for like 20 minutes, and then I went for pictures for like 20 minutes.
That you didn't show up.
Well, I didn't know I had to. No one told me.
You were on.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I had to go places.
You were on court, Jackson.
I definitely needed to go. I was
watching Alien.
I feel like you definitely needed to go.
I did go for like 20 minutes so they could take pictures, and then I went home.
Amazing.
I remember being very upset that I wasn't on junior prom court because my dad was our class advisor and he didn't think that I would have wanted to be included. He's like
amazing.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was worried that he would get like looked at for like nepotism.
His reasoning.
Yeah, because that's what they're worried about in that school.
His reasoning was he didn't want to offend the other girls because, like, let's be honest, the girls that were allowed to be on junior prom court were the popular girls in our class.
I didn't know there was a junior prom court.
There was. It was more of like
I was so uninvolved.
It's supposed to be like a thing to like say thank you to the juniors who planned prom.
Okay.
So like the people that are involved in setting everything up and planning prom are supposed to be on prom court for the junior class.
Were there guys on it?
Yes.
Man, I don't remember that at all.
It was like Zeke and Ethan
Are you allowed to say that? Are you allowed to say full names?
Oh. Noah, you probably want to block those out. I don't know that anyone
with, like,
other than me and Jackson will know who those people are, but
they're nice people. I don't think they'd be too crazy offended, but still, probably shouldn't give out their full names.
Probably not. I didn't think
Although, granted, if you just look at like Northwestern High School for the year we graduated, you can just find everyone in our class, but...
Technically, I think Zeke is still our class president, but I also think he is on a submarine in the middle of the ocean, so...
I mean, what are we going to have, a 5-year reunion this year? I don't think so.
No.
Missed the boat on that one.
People actually do those?
Yeah.
Weird.
I feel like, I would have probably gone, but yeah, given the year.
Yeah. I might go to our 10-year, if we have one.
If I'm alive.
If I exist 5 years from now, we'll see.
I have ascended, I'm sorry. I can no longer show up to the class reunion.
Imagine having
I feel like if you ascend, you have to show up. That's way cooler than whatever they've been doing.
Yeah, but I couldn't show up in a corporeal form, so they would never be able to conceptualize me.
Fair.
Bold of you to assume that our former classmates could conceptualize anything.
Yeah, our classmates were sick as hell, even like the dumb ones. Like you're telling me that like I can't say their name, but like you're telling me. Hold up, can you? You can't. Wait, check. I'll just message you. But like you're telling me that like doesn't go hard.
Yo,
you tell me that guy doesn't go hard.
I have a story about him because he tried to ask me for nudes like 2 weeks after we graduated, and I was like, "What the fuck makes you think I'm gonna send you nudes?" And he's like, "I don't know."
I thought you were gonna say 2 weeks ago.
Man, he shot his shot. You can't blame him for that. Yes, you can.
That's so funny.
I mean, I absolutely can because number one,
did you even know him?
What on earth would have possessed him to think that I would be someone who would do that for just a random guy? And two, like, I think
I told him.
I think the extent of our interactions in school was like absolutely school related. I genuinely don't know who that person is.
I'm just messaging Sam names of people. We had some like certified freak 7 days a week type.
We really
folks.
did.
And I loved them.
Oh, what was the guy's name?
But this also goes back to like my whole like I just like revel in things that are like kind of grungy and like, you know, lower class. I'm in on it. I don't mind. But wait, what guy? Give us some descriptions.
He was in the special needs class, but he was also not you. I would have just said you, genius. I had number logic with him. Remember that year that they made us all take number logic because no.
I don't remember the year they made us all take number logic. Yes, was it 10th grade?
It was 10th grade because you were in the tech school. That was the year that you guys went to the tech school for the first time. I remember being really pissed off because it was stupid that I had to take number logic, and then I was stuck in a class with like a bunch of people that I had never had a class with since kindergarten. And I'm like, I know exactly why I've never had a class with these people since kindergarten.
Did you grow to be friends with them?
No. In fact...
Come on!
In fact, the person that I'm thinking of ended up being banned from working with any of the girls in our class because of his actions.
Oh, no.
Oh. Then that's good that you didn't become friends with them. But there was nobody just, like, cool?
I don't even fucking remember beyond... Oh, Jess, there were several Jesses, hang on.
With an M?
Yes.
Okay, she was really nice.
She was in my group. She was the only other person in that class that I think I even, like, wanted to interact with. Mostly...
You know who I had a really fond class memory with? A kid who was known for being a bit of a rabble-rouser.
You know what, though? I feel like he was just like, angry all the time. Because he was
angry all the time.
I never really had an unpleasant interaction with him. Like, I feel like he just had a big problem with authority.
Yeah, you know, he hated authority. But he was just like, man, we would just be hanging out in class, and it was a good time. He was just like actually really cool. But it's one of those people that like very unapproachable, very like aggressive, and kind of had like a bad reputation. But like we got along really well, and like he, Chad, and I ended up not becoming like close friends, but we hung out for fun.
I always thought that like other than the fact that he kind of scared me sometimes.
Yeah, like, I see that. Yeah.
He never really gave me a reason. It was just his face. He just looked
called him Andy.
Scary.
He did not like being called Andy, but eventually he grew to letting me call him Andy.
You know who I weirdly befriended that was kind of along that same vein?
I love befriending people that, like, when you're young or when you're, like, I don't want to say snobbish, but you wouldn't think about being friends with.
Well, because
there's some great people.
Fit into your usual group.
Exactly.
But, like...
There's great people all over the place.
She genuinely had, like, some problems. But, like, we got along all right, and... I don't know. She wasn't a horrible person.
Yeah. Moral of the story is just be friends with everybody, unless they're not allowed to work with women in the classroom because of the way that they are acting.
Yeah, I don't remember what that guy's name was, but, like, Mrs. Folkrod pulled me aside and was like, let me know if he does anything, because he's he's on probation with the school, and we put him in your group because your dad told us you could handle it. And I'm like, oh great. I love that. I love being
Your dad's
a
like, yeah, put her in a
kid.
group with a kid on probation. It'll go well. Did it go well?
Well, let's just say he got banned from being allowed to email me or Jess, and we were immediately moved away from him.
So that's a no.
That's a big no.
God. I wish I could remember, like, you have to, like, pull out a yearbook and then go through names, because I want to find out who this was, because I don't remember.
I have my yearbook upstairs.
Oh. Guys? Obviously not on the podcast, because...
Yeah, I was going to say, as much as I really am enjoying a lot of this, not having any names assigned to this is making it hard.
Yes, that is true. This does not make for good audio.
Listen, I'm down for you guys reminiscing. I think it works.
I mean, I think also, like, my time at tech school was worth talking about as well, because there were some memorable moments, like... But the thing is, like, the tech school was a lot, like... I don't want to say rougher, but it was, like, kids from, like, a dozen different schools. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot more, like, immediate, like, storming and, like, clashing and, like, a pseudo-culture shock between, like, you know, kids from different districts who'd never really met. And there were some good times. Like, one time, a guy, fucked this dude's sandwich.
What?
One time, a kid in my class took another kid in my class's sandwich and
stuck his dick right in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Then the kid whose sandwich got fucked threw an apple at the other kid so hard that it exploded on impact. And this was as our teacher was literally just sitting at his desk vibing. Like 20 feet away from him.
What do you do with that scenario? Like, what do you do in that scenario?
One time I was sitting next to my friend Josh in tech, and he'd be fun to have on the podcast sometime maybe, but I was sitting next to my friend Josh, and the same kid who fucked the guy's sandwich came up and tried to light my hair on fire, but accidentally lit Josh on fire. With a lighter.
Oh no.
And then yeah, he accidentally lit my friend Josh's like sweatshirt on fire.
Accidentally.
It was pretty funny.
Accidentally.
I also feel like I need to add the guy who fucked the sandwich and tried to light me on fire, I consider a friend, and we got along well.
That's a nightmare.
He was cool. We had a good time.
Oh God.
Sometimes he would throw things in the soldering pot, and we would make like soldering soup, and we would just like coat everything we could find in solder.
That's cursed.
It was a good time. Yeah, that so class cursed. Was a nightmare.
I hate that so much.
Yeah. It was something.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
You fucked that guy's sandwich.
All of this to say that public school in any form is the Wild West.
Good. I was going to say is good.
Oh, that's not to say it's not good. It's just fucking wild.
I have only positive memories, as you can tell, like when he fucked that guy's sandwich. And then had an apple shattered against him.
Oh, that's so good.
That class was just wild because the teacher was like so checked out. Like he was like, that was his last year before he was retiring. So like,
he did not care at all.
He did not care at all.
Any cares.
He looked exactly like Hank Hill, and he would always talk about his time working in industry.
In industry?
In industry, like as a concept. He's like, back when I was at the paper mill, you know, he's like, when you're going to industry, like industry to him was like a location. It was like a town. It was a place you went.
Maybe he would. Maybe there's like an industry in North Carolina or something that he used to work in.
No, Mr. M was a creature, and he was a madman, and he looked like Hank Hill, and I loved him.
Sure.
That's the moral of the story. What was the moral of the story? I feel like
there was definitely a moral. I don't know what the moral is.
I think the moral is that Jackson and I are both cooler than Dan because we went to public school, and he.
I definitely think I am cooler for it.
I would back that. No, I would I think I lost a shitload of like social interaction and social growth because I didn't go to high school. Like that's just a fact. Like
yeah, I feel like I would be.
Go ahead.
I feel like I would be much less well developed, if you will, than I am now if I had not gone to public school. Not to say that I was well developed coming out of public school, because I was not. I was a shithead. But I feel like a lot of like the growth points I was able to make were made more accessible through public schooling.
I would agree with that.
And that doesn't mean that everyone has a great time or it's easy or like, you know, that it's a universal fit for everyone. Because I know some people have like miserable experiences with it. But I did not.
Yeah.
I can't change my experience. So
I mean, you should be happy with the experience you had. In the same way that like a lot of people have like bad experiences in college. I fucking loved college. I missed college because I had such a good time there compared to like grade school and high school.
I don't remember college.
Aren't you currently in college?
Yeah, but I don't go there. You know?
Oh.
We're in a pandemic, Sam.
I just sit online and do like answer discussion questions and take tests every couple of weeks.
You want to talk about some real online school experiences?
I have those too.
Your girl is currently doing medical school online.
Hence being an expert in other doctors.
Yes.
Because
you're winning or you're an expert?
Again, Sam cannot legally say that she's an expert in being a doctor yet.
Yeah, that is big.
Or at
time
any point,
I
feel like even once you have a PhD, it's still hard to be like, I am an expert in doctoring.
Well, when you have a PhD, you literally are an expert, though. Like,
well, but you are an expert. You can be brought in as a legal expert, or doctrine, or practice. Not right, like you can't be an expert in all doctor.
How many PhDs before you become an expert in doctors?
When I finish my training, I can say like, oh, I am an expert in neurology or in family medicine. I can't say I am an expert in being a doctor.
I feel like if you're really good at your job, you can.
Oh, I didn't.
How many PhDs before you can become an expert in being a doctor? I think 2, because if you have 2, like you kind of like you deserve it, you know.
Especially if you like did it right and like took completely different like practices, like you have to have picked up enough like general knowledge from other practices at that point that like you can be an expert in just being a doctor.
And just like 2 PhDs, like that's a lot of PhD programs to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give him the doctor expert.
I was thinking closer to 5, but I'll accept 2.
If you have 2, you've done twice the amount of doctoring as any other doctor.
Not necessarily, because some programs, like you can go into a PhD program without like redoing the first like however many years of
yeah, but pre-med. You've done twice as much doctor work.
That's true. Okay.
You have 2 times the doctoral experience of a normal doctor.
If you have 2 PhDs, does that mean you get to be like a doctor squared?
Can you pick up an MD and a
Doctor 2 judgment?
I mean, MD PhD is actually a degree program in a lot of schools.
I have 2 PhDs, a PhD in philosophy, and a pretty huge dick.
Because there's MD, there's PhD. What are the other ones? I can't remember what the other. There's like 3 others, and I can't remember what
they are. There's EDD, which is an educational doctorate.
Doctorate of swag.
It's osteopathic.
Yes.
Versus MD, which are not the same thing.
Yes, there is
optometry.
DDS, Doctor of Dental Science.
So that's like 4 or 5 that I'm hearing. And I think if you pick up all of them, I feel like they're like the Infinity Stones. You pick up all of them, and then you have the absolute mastery of doctoring.
And then I can snap my fingers and cure COVID.
I don't think that's how that works, but sure, yeah.
I also think by the time you were to get 6 doctorates, it might be a little late for that.
She's working on multiple doctorates at one time.
Oh, okay.
Technically, you can do that.
You can do that. I know somebody in college who worked on a film, who has their doctorate in film, and was also for a while working on their doctorate in neurology at the same time.
Sounds like a lot more money than I have to spend on
right? Well, I mean, once you hit
here's the thing, though. If you do a PhD, they pay you.
Yeah, once you hit a PhD, you actually have like a lot more leeway. Not necessarily a lot more money, but a lot more leeway as far as funding.
Well, there you have it. If you do 2 at once, then I guess just take on 6 at once for more money.
From different, you have to do them from different colleges so they all continue to give you money?
That's pretty big brain.
And
you just hope none of the colleges talk to each other and be like, "Hey, why is he taking 5 PhDs at once?"
And then you look into it, and the guy's just chilling and eating like fucking Cheetos in his room or some shit.
I feel like they would find out pretty quick.
Oh, they definitely would. I give it like a month, absolute max, before everyone found out. But still,
It'd be just enough time for you to put all that money in an offshore account and flee the country.
Flee the country. See?
Gotta love fleeing the country.
Everyone, all my homies love fleeing the country.
It's the easiest solution.
Just go to, like, if you had to flee the country, what country would you go to?
I don't know what countries do and don't have extradition treaties with America.
Yeah, definitely somewhere that doesn't extradite back to America.
What countries do not have extradition treaties with U.S.?
I feel like Googling that and putting this in the podcast is not a good idea.
Whatever.
The people need to know.
There's actually quite a few. Holy cow.
Anywhere, like, nice?
Madagascar.
Ooh.
What about Laos? Could I go to Laos?
Don't see it. Let's see. Mongolia. I'm going to Morocco. That's where I'm going.
I'm going to Mongolia. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to Morocco.
I was just talking about that place earlier.
We were just talking about
They got the best throat singing in the world.
Nepal would be cool. Go to Nepal. Nice, quiet Nepal. This is as of 2015. I'm sure that. Oh no, this was updated July 3rd, so this year. Let's see. Afghanistan, Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Armenia, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bosnia, Herzegovina. Thank you. Brunei, Burkina Faso. I'm definitely butchering all these. Burma.
I really like the bit of Dan saying foreign countries' names.
Cambodia.
You got that one.
Cameroon.
Cameroon.
No. I was gonna say Cameroon, and I felt like that was
super wrong. Don't correct him. Just let him flop.
Cape Verde, the Central African Republic, Chad.
Nice.
Mainland China. Oh, mainland China doesn't have an extradition treaty with the US.
Oh, shit. I'll go to mainland China. We'll vibe in Shanghai.
Yeah, dude.
After committing international tax fraud.
Different parts of the Congo, Ethiopia.
I hear the food in Ethiopia is pretty good.
Ethiopian food goes
Guinea, Lebanon, Macedonia. I was reading all of them, and now I'm just kind of scrolling through. Mozambique.
I would go to Ethiopia. That'd be a big.
Russia.
I feel like mainland China and Ethiopia are the two big.
Saudi Arabia, Serbia.
Is Tanzania on there?
What is?
Tanzania?
No, it is not actually.
All right, so they did kick us out. We can go to Ethiopia.
Uzbekistan, Vietnam, Yemen.
Yemen.
Yeah, dude.
And
the
Vietnam.
Vatican, actually.
The Vatican.
All right.
The Vatican doesn't have an extradition treaty, but I don't think you can just live in the Vatican unless you are like. I don't know how that works.
All right, but like if you hide in the catacombs beneath the Vatican, who's really gonna know you're there?
Probably the Vatican.
What are you gonna do?
The Pope.
What are you gonna eat?
It's so hard. Do you know how hard it is to get into the Vatican?
It's pretty hard.
It's so difficult.
We talk about how crazy it is that there's just a country that it's the Pope House.
Hashtag Pope House.
And the whole world is like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
fine. That's normal.
And it's just in the middle of Italy.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
In the middle of the capital of Italy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Italy was just like, yeah, you guys can just have Pope House country here. If I was Italy, I'd be like, no, fuck this.
With a bunch of Swedes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think the papal guard is Swedish.
Yeah, because fucking a lot of there's a whole. I love that story, but I don't remember all the details, so I don't want to tell it now.
So speaking of the papal guard and long
the history,
stories,
yeah,
we have been going for a minute here.
We have been going for a minute. I do want to talk about one quick thing before we wrap up, though.
Okay.
All right.
Because I have, while Noah has had big developments, whatever, I have had a big development as well, which is that as of a week and a half from now, I believe. Well, not even a week. As of now, she's adopted, but as of a week and a half from now, I will have a little pupper in my house.
What kind of dog?
We don't know. She is a
It's like a mystery box.
What did I say the other night, Sam?
You think she's a collie mix?
Yes, we're pretty sure she's a collie mix. We know her mom is a collie. We don't know what her dad is.
But you've seen like pictures.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Okay,
Jackson.
So it's not just like you're not getting a dog loot box.
I've ever seen in my life.
This isn't a mystery crate.
I got a mystery dog crate. Here, I'm gonna post it in text voice. Her name is Amelia, and I am very in love.
Look at that face.
You got a big, cute face. Got big eyes.
Is it from the area near you, or are you?
No, she is. She's being fostered by Michelle's sister's boss. And And when Michelle was down there, they went over and they were just hanging out, looking at puppies. And this is the one that Michelle was like, this one. I want this one because she is lovely and an actual angel.
So you guys are questing to the south to get it?
We are. Michelle's actually on her way home right now from the south, from meeting her. We were originally going to try and bring her home in the next couple of days, but it turns out she's only 6 weeks old, not 8 weeks, which is what we originally thought. And so we're leaving her down there for the extra 2 weeks because that way, when we bring her home, she will have all of her shots. She will be spayed. She will be, pretty good to go. And we won't have to worry about all that when she gets up here. It also gives us a little bit of time to like try and puppy proof the house a little bit. Because there's a lot of
Yeah, have you ever had a puppy before?
I have not. Michelle has had puppies, but never this young.
It is a trip.
I'm excited.
It is a fun trip.
I'm very nervous, but I'm very excited.
It's a lot of work, and you have to be really, really careful about a lot of things, but it's fun.
That's kind of what everyone's been telling me is that it's a lot of work, but just be careful and be smart. And like I can maybe do one of those things, and if I can do one and Michelle can do the other, we'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I'm just excited. It's a big new step in our life. It's an adventure.
And you have the added bonus of there's an adorable puppy in your house now.
Well, at least for a little while, and then she's just gonna be an adorable dog.
I prefer dogs to puppies, honestly.
I didn't expect to get a puppy this young, but here we are.
No, there's nothing wrong with getting a puppy.
No. And it like the other thing is the thing I was talking to Michelle about earlier is that like if we'd gotten a bigger dog, like there are personality traits and like behaviors that like would have been harder maybe to handle, but like at least with one this young, like whatever beyond like her personality, any behavioral things that she does or has is a little bit all on us for better and for worse. So like whatever we do or don't decide to train is literally what she'll know. Like there's no one else to blame but ourselves for how this dog turns out, and that is terrifying.
But also she's a dog, so.
But also she's so good. Look at her stupid face. I love her.
She is precious.
She's precious and has the biggest smiles, and that's what's important. Supposedly she's also extremely quiet. Like when her mom left the room, all her brothers and sisters were whining and being sad about it, and she just like hung out with Michelle and was quiet. Which I think is what kind of sent Michelle over the edge as far as like, hey, we should get this puppy. And I'm like, yeah, all right, done. But yes, Jackson, you were right. I want to tell that story because I'm very excited and it is a big adventure.
Yeah, that is very fun. She's very cute. It looks like it'll be. Are her eyes the same color or are they two different? Because it looks in one photo.
I think it's just the lighting, but her eyes right now are just blue.
Okay.
Michelle thinks it's probably going to turn brown the older she gets, which is fine.
I'm glad you think it's fine. You're not just gonna send her back if her eyes turn brown.
No, I'm gonna return her for be like, hey, this one's eyes got broken. Can we get a new one?
Wow, Dan, I didn't know that you were a dog racist.
A doggist, please.
I kind of am a doggist. There's some dogs that I don't like hate them, but I'm just like, eh.
No, there are definitely dogs that are better and worse.
There are dogs that I like. I don't dislike any breed of dog, but sometimes I'm just like, that's boring.
Yeah. Some dogs are just rats. Like, don't at me.
Give me a spicy dog. You know, I want something. I want something that looks like a Bloodborne boss.
Oh,
no. I want the Afghan hounds.
The other thing that I have had to take into consideration in all this is that I am allergic to dogs. Not extremely, but enough that like my eyes water and my nose and head get really stuffy. And so your boy is now going to be on a fucking allergy medicine diet for the next like 15 years, which I'm fine with, but who boy.
Have you considered doing the allergy shots?
I'm going to once I have insurance again.
Okay.
That's like priority number 3 once I have insurance again. I want to go and get some other stuff checked out. But that's way up there. I just need to do it. But yeah, Jackson, you were right. We have been going on for a hot, spicy minute. Do you want to take us out, or do you want me to do it?
You know what? As the enemy of the podcast, I vote that Sam should do it.
Sam has listened to every episode. She's probably capable of doing it.
Sam, we were doing outros. I forget that you guys do those.
Sam, do you think you can do outros?
I forget that you guys do outros. I thought you meant just like saying goodbye.
Yeah.
This has been Off the Air. You can not follow me on Twitter. Please don't, but I guess if you like suffering, you can follow me at SammyIami17 on Twitter. Don't follow me literally anywhere else because it's not worth it. Dan?
You know what? That wasn't bad. You know what? I'll take it. You can find me on Twitter at BornRule57 and twitch.tv/BornRule, where I am streaming Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Although I think what day is this episode coming out? No, I should be back on this Thursday and Saturday. I'm taking a couple days because my work schedule is about to get wild and wacky, and we have stuff we have to do for dog. Yeah, Jackson, do you have anything you wanna talk about? You wanna plug?
Pass.
Okay.
All right.
If you're looking for the podcast, you can find it at twitter.com/theofftheair. I believe facebook.com/theofftheair and offtheairpodcast.com.
And they're on Spotify now.
We are on Spotify now. It's very cool. Very convenient. We also have...
I know Noah has been telling everybody to look up by episode names, but I found you guys just by typing in the podcast name. Don't know if that's because my phone has picked up that I am a regular listener, though. So
let's see. If I just search Off the Air, the first result is Adult Swim, albums, playlists, podcast, and show. No, we are the top podcast.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, if you go to podcast and just search Off the Air, we are there. That is us. There are other ones. There's some called Off Air. There's one or two that are Off the Air, but we are the one that shows up at the top. At least for me.
Probably it's an algorithm because the government tracks everything we do through our smartphones.
I think you mean Spotify tracks everything we do through our smartphones. Facebook on Spotify? Facebook on Spotify.
Remember, guys, companies are the real evil.
Companies are the real evil.
That's why you can't have TikTok, because maybe China knows who your name is.
If you wanted to support some of that evil, we do have a Patreon. There is all sorts of stuff. We would normally do our shout-outs, but I'm not going to because Noah usually is the one that handles that. And I'm lazy and totally forgot to do it before the episode today. There is, let's see. Is that everything? That's about everything. I can't think. Am I forgetting anything? I definitely am. Noah's gonna pop in somewhere around here, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, Dan, you forgot this," or he's gonna say, "Dan, you fucked up the Twitter," or
he's just gonna take a massive hit of the giant Baby Yoda bong.
That does sound like Noah. I hope we come into this later on and find out that Noah just put in like an extra 10 minutes of him just ripping fat clouds.
I hope that Noah comes in and says, "Actually, guys, this entire episode is unusable, and we're canceling the podcast because that's been my goal all along."
As we all know. Sam, thank you for joining us.
And I will welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
So I wasn't planning on interjecting anything at the end of the episode, but since Dan called me out and said that he assumed I would, Dan, we've been doing this for closing in on 2.5 years now, and the fact that you don't remember that the Facebook is OTA podcast is appalling at this point. It's Twitter at The Off the Air, Facebook OTA podcast, and Patreon at Off the Air. Also offtheairpodcast.com if you want to go to the website. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. Good episode though. This was fun.